Good day everyone, I'm Jemaica Limpahan and I'm going to report the socio-emotional development of high school learners. But before we proceed, let me read the objective first. So here's our objective for this lesson. At the end of this module, you should be able to first, identify the socio-emotional changes in the adolescent. Second, describe how self-image develops among teens. Third, determine the wholesome attitudes and values in teenage friendship. Fourth, discern the causes of moral reasoning and feeling while understanding religiously imposed morality. And last, recognize the need of the adolescent for freedom and privacy, also known as adolescent emancipation. Now let's proceed to the topic. Self-understanding. In early adolescence, 10 to 13 years, the teen begins to acquire a reflective idea of oneself, not only in terms of the immediate present, which younger children also see, but in terms of their past and their future. So here, yung mga kabataan or mga teens ay meron na silang idea of oneself. Hindi lang sa immediate present, which younger children also see, but in terms of their past and their future too. This development requires self-thought or introspective thinking along generalized ideas such as in thinking that one is bright, flexible, intelligent, etc. So, this development requires self-thought. From self-image, there is the all-important value known as self-esteem. So, sa self-image na siya important value. This is the self-esteem. So, let's proceed. Stereotypes of gender differences. So, in boys, in terms of social, they are self-sufficient and higher self-esteem in achievement and leadership, while in girls, they are help-seeking, congeniality, and sociability. While in education, boys excel in math, while the girls, they are good at spelling, penmanship, neatness, reading, music, social, and verbal skills, which is true that the girls are good at spelling, penmanship, neatness, reading, music, social, and verbal skills, while the boys, they are good in math. While in family, boys engages themselves with activities, autonomy over children, while girls, family relationship, connection, and openness. On feelings, girls experience more anxiety, self-doubt in making choices, isolation, individualism in the family, compared with boys. Generally, girls are more emotional than compared with boys. Oliver et al. 1990. So which is true? Totoo naman diba na yung mga girls mas na-experience na yung anxiety, self-doubt in terms of decision making. Totoo na yung mga girls o mga babae ay mas emotional kaysa sa mga lalaki. In adult life, studies show that men see themselves as separate and distinct persons, while women tend to see themselves through others, for example, as a daughter, wife, or mother. Consequently, women tend to give way to the wishes of others, even sacrificing their own interest. On the other hand, men more easily know their own needs and their genuine desires in life. Ezard and Ackerman, 1996. So, ang mga lalaki pala is parang nakikita nila ang kanilang mga self na separate sila. They are distinct from other person. While ang women, they tend to see themselves through others. Parang nagde-depend sila sa others. Halimbawa na nga dito yung daughter, wife, or mother. Also, ang women then, they tend to give away to the wishes of others, even sacrificing their own interest. While men, they are easily known their own needs and their genuine desires in life. So let's proceed. Developing self-esteem. As girls begin to separate themselves from the matrix of emotional connection with their mother, 7 to 11 years, they gain strength and self-confidence, trusting their own feelings and knowledge. They also begin to engage more orderly in sports and the arts with more courage, competence, and energy. But at the age of 14, middle adolescence, the danger surfaces for girls to lose their assertiveness as their personality becomes more self-conscious and differential. It appears that at this stage of development, girls tend to lose their flexibility, optimism, and spirit of adventure. It means here is that when we are 7 to 11 years old, we gain knowledge, we gain strength and self-confidence. We trust our own feelings and knowledge. Nagstart na rin tayo na mag-engage sa mga sports, sa arts. Meron tayong mga courage, competence, and energy. But when pero kung nandun na tayo sa stage na sa middle adolescence, parang nawawala na yung mga parang energy natin, nawawala na yung assertiveness natin. Kapag na parang nakikilala na natin yung self natin, ganun siya. It appears that at this stage of development, girls tend to lose their flexibility, optimism, and spirit of adventure. So, nawawala na yung pagiging flexibility natin at optimism and spirit of adventure. Self-esteem means appreciation of oneself or self-love. So, here, ang self-esteem means love sa imong kagalingan. Love to yourself. Potential endowment can be developed to a great extent through family formation, school education, and social influence. The personal attitude and will to grow depends on the individual, although motivational influences can help progressive growth coming from parents, siblings, friends, teachers, etc. So, yung personal influence mo, nag-grow lang siya, depende sa imuha. But yung motivational influences, nag-grow siya, pwede sa pwede galing sa mga parents mo, or sa sibling, or friends, or teachers. That's how your motivational influence grow. Well, popularity and external appearance such as body physique, comedy looks, admiration by others, social position, and prestige are among the main external factors that contribute to self-esteem. But these are passing or vanishing contribution to growth. They may last for many years, but in the end, self-esteem has to grow from internal appreciation of oneself, regardless of external circumstances in life. Self-appreciation, self-reliance, autonomy, energy, courage, and other internal positive motivators are a more permanent factors which can lead the adolescent to the progressive self-concept he/she needs in adult life. So, yung mga self-appreciation mo, self-reliance, ito yung mga internal positives para which can lead the adolescent to the progressive self-concept she needs in adult life. Ito yung mga kailangan para ma-achieve mo yung progressive self-concept mo. So now let's proceed to the friendship and intimacy. Several types of friendship can be distinguished. First, acquaintance who meet periodically. Second is companions who share common interests through regular contacts. And third, intimates or best friends with depth of self-disclosure, feelings, caring romantic partners in intimate heterosexual relationship. So these are the types of friendship. So now let's proceed. Intimate friendship are viewed to be especially important during early adolescence, compared with those who have not been involved in intimate friendship. Adolescents who have friendship characterized by compassion, openness, and satisfaction tend to be more sociable and more competent, while being less anxious, depressed, and hostile. The intimate parent-child relationship appear to also wane as adolescents develop intimate friendship with a romantic partner. So, pag meron ka mga kaibigan, yung intimate friendship is mas nade-develop mo yung yung openness and satisfaction mo. You tend to be sociable to others kung may intimate friendship ka. The world of friends can be equally important, if not more important than the family world. Talking with friends and sharing things with them can be rewarding in the sense that friends see both sides of the story, unlike parents who normally impose their side of an issue. As to the sexes, girls are viewed to be more capable than boys in forming intimate friendship, benefiting more from social support they can get from close friends. Evidence further shows that friendship among boys is less intimate, as they put less trust in friendship and care less about being listened to and being understood. So, yung pagiging friends, yung friendship is napaka-importante. Yung pakipag-usap mo sa kanila or sharing your experiences with them can be rewarding in the sense that friends see both sides of the story, unlike sa parents. Girls, mas capable ang girls na makagawa ng intimate friends kaysa sa mga lalaki. So evidence further shows that friendship among boys is less intimate, as they put less trust in friendship and care less about being listened to and being understood. So let's proceed to the identity issues. So there are phases of identity issues. So John Marshall expanded on Erickson's theory on identity by identifying 4 phases in the attainment of an identity status. Commitment and crisis are 2 dimensions that combine to define these stages. So the first stage is identity foreclosure. Second, moratorium. Third, identity achiever. And fourth, identity diffusion. This is the first stage of identity issues. So, identity foreclosure. This is the case of an adolescent who is a follower, finding security in others, not in his or herself. The adolescent makes a commitment before asking about alternatives. This commitment arises from values or expectation of other people, such as a parent, relative, or friend, which may be premature as foreclosure is rooted in commitment to obey, follow a strong leader, respect authority, most vulnerable kind of self-esteem develop. So, ang identity foreclosure pala, yung adolescent, yung follower, he's finding security in others, hindi sa kanyang sarili, but sa iba. Nahanap niya yung security sa iba, hindi sa kanyang mga sarili. The adolescent make commitment before asking about alternatives. This commitment arises from values or expectation of other people. So, weddings of parents, a relative, or friend, which may be premature as foreclosure, is rooted in commitment to be follow a strong leader. Respect authority, most vulnerable kind of self-esteem develops.
Moratorium. This is the case of an adolescent searcher. The adolescent enters a crisis by becoming aware of alternatives, rules, values, and beliefs. Thus, he explores and experiments, becoming a prober and critic without any permanent commitment to follow authority or be part of a system. The moratorium status is viewed as a most sophisticated mode of identity, search, and achievement. During this moratorium period, it's normal for adolescents to be rebellious and uncooperative, avoid dealing with problems, procrastinate, experience low self-esteem, feel anxious, and uncertain about decisions. For example, in moratorium, a sudden change of class schedule because of the natural calamity or disaster that happened in the area. Identity achiever. This is the point where the adolescent fully finds himself or herself. An optimal sense of identity is experienced. One feels at home with one's knowledge and awareness of where one is and where he or she is going in addition to the possible recognition for deeds done. Identity seekers have looked at alternatives and have made their choice with an optimal feeling of themselves. Identity achiever means to make a strong commitment about what we believe about our beliefs and values that make our lives or career make major changes of what we pursue. Example, the students of IMSU decided to pursue their own major parts of their studies to achieve what they wanted to be and graduate as a teacher. Identity diffusion. This is the case of the adolescent failing to find himself or herself. There is hardly a knowledge of who one is, uncertainty running through episodes in life. Identity diffuse persons like lack goal, orientation, direction, and commitment. While they may have expressed interest and are unaware even of the advantage and disadvantages of the work they want to do. Setting goals, they frequently change them as they have no commitment to any given aim in life. As a result, adolescence is prolonged, unable to reach maturity due to a diffuse or fragmented personality. Inability to explore alternatives and make choices may be due to psychosocial factors, springing from a complexity of reasons such as disdain or hostility to playing a role in the family or community. Told by parents to do well in school so that he can enter a prestigious college, the person may, out of spite, do poorly even quit school deliberately. Identity diffusion is the opposite of identity achiever. Identity diffusion says about lacking of interest or goal in life. For example, when an adolescent lack about his or her goal, direction, and commitment, they are unaware what is advantage and disadvantage of what they want to pursue. Just like in the just like when the parents told the his ch- children to do well in school so that he can enter in a prestigious college. But he but despite of anything, he deliberately quit school. That is the example of identity diffusion. Promoting a sense of identity. Overall, the ingredients that make up an optimal sense of personal identity are: number one, inner confidence about self competence and ability to learn and master new tasks. Number two, ample opportunity to try out new rules in either one's fantasy or in actual practice, and 3. Support from parents and adults. In, in order for us to make an confidence about our self-confidence and ability to learn and master the new tasks, we need a support from our parents and adults for enable for us to master and ability to learn faster. Stereotypical gender roles. Several studies on gender stereotypes show on emotional response, girls in early adolescence are more self-conscious, excelling in verbal skills, while they invest more time in forming intimate friendships. Meanwhile, boys show independence and are less emotional, involving themselves in sports. In a cross-cultural studies, the female is associated with nurturance, deference, and abasement, while the male is associated with dominance, autonomy, aggression, exhibition, and achievement. In general, the female is described to be less active and weaker than the male stereotype. So, in the stereotypical gender rules, says boys are more aggressive than girls because of the actions they do in their age and adolescent stage. For example, boys do more athletic or sports games while the girls nurture their body well. Antisocial behaviors among adolescents. Gerald Patterson formulated a developmental progression for an antisocial behavior which takes into account the importance of parental monitoring and discipline on the child in early childhood, involvement with peer in school work in middle childhood, commitment with peer group in late childhood and adolescence. In order for the child develop a progressive for the social behavior of the children, it needs the monitoring and discipline from the parent. The first level of moral development is the conventional level. At this stage, the adolescent is able to understand and conform to social conventions, consider the motives of peers and adults, engage in proper behavior to please others, and follow the rules of society. In this stage or level, adolescent can understand, engage in proper behavior, and can also follow the rules of the society. The second level of moral development is the post-conventional level. At this stage, the adolescent wishes to conform to A. Law and order. Don't steal because it is against the law. B. The social contract. Rights such as life and liberty must be upheld to uphold the welfare of the majority in society. And C. Universal ethical principles. The universal principles of justice, equality, of human rights, freedom, and conscience, and etc. In this stage or level, adolescents can now adopt or accommodate what must be followed about the law and order, what we must do about the society, and about our ethical principles. Development of guilt. Guilt is a sense of feeling responsible for one's action, particularly when harm has been done to oneself or others. On the negative side, guilt can be threatened self-image. On the positive side, guilt makes us. As the stage in developing guilt, the first rudimentary feelings of guilt begin when children think they have caused some kind of harm to others. Anticipatory guilt is felt when the child sees consequences that are detrimental to oneself to others. And survivor guilt is experienced when one feels blame worthy regardless of involvement. Influence in moral behavior. Peers can encourage positive behavior, although they can also encourage misconduct or inappropriate behaviors. identified by scholars in the process of individuation are A. The practicing phase as parents continue to make behavior conformance demand while the adolescents begin to feel the need for psychological freedom. B. Rapprochement as adolescents establish bonds with parents induced by parents recognizing their psychological need for freedom to grow. Thus, it is important for parents, to be aware of the life satisfaction and psychological well-being of their children. Life satisfaction consists of the child's perception of the quality of his or her life. Psychological well-being consists of a complex multiple dimension of the child's self-esteem, feeling of control, sociability, as opposed to anxiety and loneliness. In the end, a proper balance between parent-child connectedness and expression is best, allowing for cross-cultural ethnic differences, such as Christian, Islamic, Asian, Western cultures, or many more religions that we believe.